Alright, today we're going to do some Gordon Ramsay coconut meatballs. First thing you need to do is make the meatballs. And the way Gordon Ramsay makes them is he takes some breadcrumbs and mixes in a little milk. I'm using almond milk. He mixes that all up real nice. Kind of a paste going. Well mixed. Should look something like that. Then what he does is puts the meat in a bowl. Now I'm doing 3 pounds of meat, so we're going to make up a lot of meatballs. And he kind of spreads it out like that in the bowl. He then adds the breadcrumb mixture. Now, interesting enough, a lot of people make meatballs with using an egg. He says that you don't need to use an egg as a binding agent. So we're going to test that theory out today. And then finally, he sautés up some onions, peppers, and garlic. And adds that in. I did that ahead of time. And then we mix it all in. Alright, so once you get the ingredients well mixed in, do take your time mixing them in. We're going to form the meatballs. And you want to be generous on the size. They should be about the size of a golf ball, if not a little bit bigger. Especially for this coconut recipe. You want to get them fairly tightly packed. And then we're going to chill these. Once you get them all done, you can have some of them frozen for use later on. Okay, so once you have your meatballs formed, and I did make them a little bit bigger than Chef Ramsay suggests, but we need to chill them. And so all you need to do is throw these in the freezer and you'll be good to go for about, you need to do it for about 30 minutes. Okay, so now we're getting ready to actually cook the meatballs. Now we did make our meatballs a little bit bigger than what Gordon Ramsay suggests. So we're actually going to cook them a little bit longer before we start adding the seasoning. So let's go ahead and get them in our pan. We've heated our pan with some oil in it. And just like all cooks will tell you, give yourself some space in your pan. And I'm going to just put 2 more in. I think our crew is hungry tonight. Alright, so what we have here now is they've cooked for about a minute or so, maybe even 2 minutes. And we're going to get our spices ready. The 2 main ones are ginger and lemongrass. As he describes, take the back of your knife kind of knock it down. I'm going to cut it into 3 sections. Boy, you can really smell it. And those just kind of go right in the middle. Notice we've positioned the meatballs towards the outside. And now the ginger. You want very thin slices. Where a good knife comes in handy. And here we go. We're going to put our ginger in. And now for a few spices. We're going to use curry powder. Just a touch of the curry powder. Little bit of cinnamon. And for me, I'm going to put in some crushed red peppers or crushed chili peppers. Give it just a little bit more zing. And then finally, we're going to add chicken stock to the mixture. You want to make sure it's about a third of the way up the meatballs. And once it gets to a boil, we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. Alright, so once we get it up to a boil here, we're going to let it cook on the boil for a little bit to cook away some of the chicken stock before adding the coconut milk. At this point in time, you reduce the heat. You want it to kind of physically settle. And then we're going to add our coconut milk. Oh, this is looking tremendous. Put it in just a little bit. And now all that's left to do is kind of wait as this bubbles away. Alright, so these have been bubbling now for about 5-6 minutes. We're going to perform the final steps that Chef Ramsay suggests. What we have here is some lime zest, and we're just going to put a little lime zest on top of each of the meatballs. You wouldn't believe how great this smells. And then, as he suggests, you take that very same lime that you used to get your zest and add some great fresh lime juice. And I'm going to do one more bonus thing here that I like to do is I'm going to throw in some cherry tomatoes that we can serve with the meatballs and just get them heated up in the same sauce. And that should just add an extra bit of good taste to this meal. Alright, we're seconds away from sampling this. To serve this up, take some of the broth, put them in the bottom of a bowl here. I'm going to take a couple of the cherry tomatoes, get them in there. And then we're going to take some of the meatballs. And that's it, folks. We're going to eat some of these, and we'll tell you how they came out.